What is up, guys? Abixis here, coming at you with a new tier list for Season 2 of Overwatch 2. This is a pretty exciting one. There's a lot of changes that just came through that I'm just noticing. So I'm going to go ahead and do some preemptive judgment on what I think this season's tier list is going to be. Obviously, we'll do a mid-patch update as well. But without further ado, let's jump right into it so you guys can get my takes on this and compare them to your own and get jumping right into rank. Starting with S tier, we're keeping Winston in S tier. Hasn't gotten any changes just yet. And honestly, I don't see anything here that is going to make him fall out of the meta. Diva will also stay in S tier because I think, again, this is just how the meta looks right now. Dive definitely feels like the way to go. I don't see anybody that really is standing out as taking that spot as of right now. But with that being said, I think these two are my pinnacle of the tank position. Now we'll just start kind of just dropping people wherever they belong. Brigitte, leaving her in the B tier. I think she's fine in B. She's performing about what you would like. You could play her. She's fine. Nothing wrong with playing Brig, but nothing too special there. Reinhardt, going to keep him in B tier as well. I think Reinhardt is a fine pick right now. Again, situationally good. Better picks in certain situations, sure, but definitely not a bad pick by any means. Junkrat, as I said, coming from Overwatch 1 to 2, I really thought he'd be a lot worse, but he is honestly in a decent spot, and I don't mind him, right now. I don't mind him. Doomfist. Now, this is one of the hardest ones. I'm gonna talk about Doom right here. I'm gonna split up the changes throughout the video. Doomfist got a lot of changes, a pretty absurd amount, actually. Um, the temporary health change, Meteor Strike now empowers Rocket Punch, slow duration increased, power block cooldown, and duration changes both in the positive. Very, very few nerfs here, mostly positive changes. He's going to do more damage. His power will be better across the board. He's going to have a little bit more survivability. I don't want to be too preemptive here, so I'm not going to say this is going to make him absurd. But looking at these changes, while I do think he needs a bit of a rework, I think these will push him into a spot where he is at least playable and not a completely troll pick. I still don't think he'll be amazing, but I think he'll be solid. Only time will tell, but we will see. Sombra, honestly, I'm moving Sombra down to the B tier. I had her in A tier in the mid patch update. I feel like those nerfs hurt her a lot more than I think I expected them to. I don't think as many people were dropping her as harshly as they are now, but I think after we've seen how it's played out, I do see the effectiveness change. Tracer, with her bug change, she's going to go back into A tier. If you didn't know, she had a damage bug, but anyway, it's all fixed. They buffed her damage back to normal. She's still a really good pick, still very consistent. Cassidy's staying in C. I don't find Cassidy to be all that special. I just think there are better options. Being objective, he may actually be a B tier pick. You're really not going to go wrong with him, but I just feel the other hit scans do the same job, but a little bit better than he does. New addition to the S tier, we're going to add Reaper. Now, Reaper is possibly just as strong as he is because of how prevalent Monkey is, but Reaper feels really good in the current meta. Something else that a lot of people may have thought coming into Overwatch 2, that with one tank, using Reaper to counter tanks wouldn't be as much of a problem, but if anything, it's become even better than it was. He's a far more consistent pick than he was in the first game. Obviously, a great counter to Monkey, who is one of the most prevalent tanks in the game right now. You can't go wrong with Reaper, and if you're in low elo, bronze, silver, Reaper is going to be your best pick right now as a damage character, bar none. Easy, low ceiling. Obviously, there's some mastery to him, but if you pick him, you're not going to go wrong with him right now. Pharah is a hard one. I'm still hovering with her because if you have a pocket Pharah, you can really get a lot of value right now, but at the same time, with the new tank being added, who's supposed to be, heavy on the anti-air, and honestly, I can't put her any higher than C because you could almost require a pocket to get the maximum value. And being as that this is a solo queue tier list, I'm gonna leave her in C for now. Mercy staying in C, self-explanatory. Mercy's a solid pick, not great, but not terrible. The buff she got for weapon swap time and the damage or the ammo increase, I don't find it to be that great for anything other than building some alt charge here and there. I don't see it. I'm not seeing it. Kiriko got a few changes as well. More ammo on her kunai. Swift Step is now a little less clunky to use. Suzu is a faster cast time. And Kitsune Rush, they got a bit of a nerf with the movement speed. I'm going to put her in the absolute highest of A. Um, she's better in some ways, and the nerf on the alt is pretty substantial. They had a few different changes to her, but there's something about Kiriko that tells me she isn't the broken S tier pick. She is an extremely good pick. So I don't feel super comfortable having her in S anymore. So I'm going to leave her in the highest of A. Not really a downgrade by any means really, but just for the optics of it, I suppose. Captain Anna. Anna got a small change, a buff to her sleep dart. I'm keeping her where I had her. I think she's a good pick if you're good at Anna. If you're bad at her, pick somebody easier. There are a lot more options that'll get you easier value, but she's not a bad pick by any means. Symmetra, people really gave me a bit of a hard time putting Symmetra in B tier, and I kind of agreed after reading some of the comments and getting some feedback. She was weaker than I may have been giving her some credit for. I'm a little biased on the Symmetra, but they did buff her here. And I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Really, to be honest with you, I still don't see her being that great. She's gonna go in C. She's just not consistent. I still think she's one of those heroes that really needs a rework. She's one of the big three I was talking about when I was discussing reworks in the last video. Symmetra really could use some love right now. I don't find her very fun to play against, very fun to play. Don't think she has a consistent spot in the meta. I would love to see her in a better spot. This is a step in the right direction, giving her some small changes. But I don't know. I'm just not feeling it right now. Zenyatta staying in B. Zenyatta is a good carry pick, but you got to be aware of when to switch off a Zen. That's pretty much all I have to say about him right now. Sojourn. Let's talk about Sojourn. Sojourn finally got a change, and I think it is a very welcome one. Now, I'm going to go over this one a little more in depth because it's pretty important. Her railgun is now going to fall off a little bit quicker. The drain is going to happen a little bit faster. Her critical multiplier on her secondary fire is lowered. The range at which it falls off is lower, but they did buff her primary fire and how quickly the railgun charges. So now as a Sojourn, maybe you're going to not be as much of just sit there and snipe and wait for your railgun. She'll be more effective with her base weapon, and she'll be building those railgun shots faster. So it'll actually get her more on the move, more in the fight. I think it'll be a lot less frustrating to play against, and it's a minor change to that railgun that I think will bump her down a tiny bit. I still think she'll be a really good pick. I can't see her falling any lower than this, but I think she's going to be a lot more fair to play against, and people will be a lot less frustrated with her, I think. Lucio, I'm moving Lucio up to S, man. I mean, Lucio just fits this game too well to not have him up there. I've been reluctantly, I said it in the last video, I'm putting him in high A. Lucio belongs in S tier. Lucio is a consistent pick. He's high skill ceiling, but low skill floor. Pick him up, get instant value out of him, master him. There's just a lot of things you can do with Lucio that make him one of the best ladder picks right now, and I can't really think of too many people that are better. Ashe is going to stay in A. Ashe, to me, is the best hit scan in the game right now. I just think she brings more to the table than Soldier and Cassidy, especially. She's definitely a really good pick right now. You have the big damage grenade, best ultimate out of the three main hit scans, in my opinion. Just a lot of value there with Ashe. Which is why I'm going to move Soldier down to the B. Soldier hasn't changed too much, but I realized I was contradicting myself, putting Cassidy in C tier because there are better picks that fill his exact role. I think Soldier is a solid pick, but there is not anything inherently great about him. He is just good. He's a good pick. Sigma, staying in A, I think he is one of the best low elo carry tanks you could play. If you're really struggling with dive, and maybe if you're a damage player, switching over to tank, give Sigma a try. He plays a lot like a damage for most people. You'll be able to pick him up a little bit easier. So take a look at Sigma. High damage, carry ability, a shield, survivability. He's got basically everything you need to be strong. Junker Queen got some changes. Let's talk about Junker Queen really quick. The commanding shout cooldown got reduced. Overall, obviously just a buff. Her hitbox got increased from what I remember, and her ult got a slight change as well. And then the adrenaline rush passive increased. I don't think any of this is going to change her all too much. I could be wrong, but I do like that they're giving her a little bit of a numerical change. Realistically, Junker Queen's kit I think is pretty well designed, but I just think she needed a bit of you know uh, buffing in the number department. So let's put Junker Queen still in the high C this time instead of just C tier. I think she's got a potential to be in the low B. We'll go with C for now though. I'm going to drop Orisa down to the B tier for this patch. I just haven't seen Orisa perform at the level that I think she should be. Her kit on paper feels loaded, and while the new Orisa seemed pretty intimidating at first, you come to realize that there are situations where that version of Orisa just gets bullied, even more so than the previous one. So I'm going to be moving her down and putting her in the B tier. Hog staying in the A tier. Again, this is a crazy ladder pick. If you're in low elo and you're good at Hog, he is a solo carry, survivability, damage, pick potential. A lot of things you could do with Hog. Widowmaker staying in the B. If you're good at Widow, you'll get picks. If you're bad at Widow, she's not good. Echo's going in the A tier. Solid pick. Still think that the nerfs that she got when the game came out are pretty substantial, but a solid pick. Torbjorn, B tier, bit of a niche pick. Certain maps, certain situations, pick Torb. Not somebody you're going to want to pick every game. And if you do, you're probably not going to get the most consistent value out of him. Wrecking Ball, I'm putting Wrecking Ball right below Junker Queen in the high C. A Wrecking Ball master is still going to take over a game, but he just feels like he's in a very odd place right now. Don't really feel like he fits into any specific comp. I'm getting close to starting to call it. If Doom's buffs are as good as I think they're going to be, I'm getting close to calling Ball the worst in the game as far as tanks go, which kind of sucks. But as of right now, I don't think he's in a great spot, but he's still playable. Zarya, I'm gonna put Zarya in the high B as well, right up by Orisa. Those nerfs hurt her a lot more than I. This is a trend. I try to be cautious when bugs or buffs and nerfs come out. These nerfs hurt her a little bit more than I expected them to, and I think she's in B. I was seeing a lot less Zarya, so I'm getting a smaller sample size, but I'm not seeing very many dominant Zaryas right now. Bastion is a tough one because of his new buff. I like the changes. Projectile dropping, coming down quicker for his ult, making it harder to dodge. Can't hurt himself with the ult anymore, which I don't really think that's going to help that much. When are you ulting on top of yourself? Delay between shots is down, and the reconfigure into turret form is the big one. The buff on that is pretty substantial. Overall, I think Bastion and low elo will probably be a B. Across all, kind of leaning towards C, but I'll put him in the lowest of B for now. I'm going to be a little cautiously optimistic on Bastion. I think he's a B tier pick, especially if you can get your team to play around him. Hanzorg is Hanzorg C. I'm not loving Hanzo. Hanzo feels a lot weaker than he probably should. They really haven't changed him much. Again, I just feel like there are better picks in the Overwatch 2 meta. Bap is A. Keeping Bap in the A tier. Regular A tier. He's a good pick. He's not as broken as he was in Overwatch 1, but he's still solid. Mei. Put Mei in the low C. Not really a big fan of Mei at the moment. She really is a problem. I have her in my big three that needs to be reworked. I think Mei is... It's not like you're trolling when you pick Mei, but every single time I see somebody pick Mei, all I'm thinking is, if you were playing to this level on another hero, you would be doing much better. So don't hate Mei, but I feel like she needs something after they removed her freeze. Moira's A tier. Low elo. Moira's maybe S tier. Overall, putting her in the A. I think she's good. Damage, heals, mobility. She feels pretty strong right now. Last but not least, Genji. High B. I may even go lower than B, like high B. Those nerfs hurt Genji quite a bit again. There's a lot of times in this game where nerfs come out and they look pretty minor. They end up being a big deal. So I'm gonna put him at the B tier for now. I haven't seen much Genji play recently either. I feel like Tracer's kind of slowly doing what she did in Overwatch 1, where she just works his role out of existence. I'm sorry to the Genji mains, but that's what it seems like right now. So, yeah, that's about it for Overwatch 2 Season 2, Part 1. Obviously, I will make a mid-patch update when I see a lot of people proving me wrong, which they probably will. Obviously, comment down below if you have any disagreements. I am always open to hearing other takes on what other people are seeing, what other people feel. Obviously, I changed my mind on Symmetra last tier list just based on what you guys were giving me some feedback on. So I'd love to hear it. Let me know down below what you think. And good luck this season with your ranked climb. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.